Alright, Paladin. Sherwala the Tiger, 25 mana, 7/5 Beast. Divine Shield, Rush and Lifesteal. Oh Jesus. Costs 1 less for each mana you've spent on spells. So you really want to build around this card. And this is just one legendary, so if you don't draw this card and you build your deck around it, you're just gonna fucking die. But if you can manage to pull this off on around turn 8, where you play the shitload of spells maybe, and you can make it happen. I guess it will see some play. I will give it 4 stars because you really need to build a fucking deck around it, but if you can manage to do that, this card alone is so powerful that it can really wreck almost anything. The Divine Shield, Rush and Lifesteal is just so good. Well, Ziliax is the proof of that. Alright, High Priest Tekal, 3 mana 3/4, premium stats again. Battlecry, convert all but one of your heroes' health into armor. So this will really open up the new self-heal paladin archetype, and that seemed really good in yesterday's stream, but don't forget that those were pre-made decks, so it got the best opponent that you can get. And still, I like its effect since you can combo it with a lot of paladin cards. Basically you're just gonna get 29 free armor eventually, but I don't really know if that archetype will be good enough to happen and to murder anything. So I will give it 4 stars because premium stats and I really like the effect, but it still needs something that we're currently missing from the game, I guess. New Challenger, 7 mana, discover 6 cast minions, summon it with Taunt and Divine Shield. So this was basically invented to help Sherwala and to help you survive. I really love this card, but the 3 cost section has cards with Taunt and Divine Shield already. But if you can pull out a Blackguard like they did in the stream, that can be really effective. Problem is there are a lot of weak 3-drops, 6-drops. But if you can get a Wind Fury Harpy, basically you will just win the game. So we give it 4 stars as well. This is a really powerful card, but you have to learn how to use it. And then it will be pretty effective. And if you run 2, that's 14 minus 4 Sherwala's mana cost already. And you can almost play it. Immortal Prelate, 2 mana 1/3. Just rattle, shuffle this into your deck, it keeps any enchantments. Well, alright, finally Buffeting will happen, I guess, for some reason, but don't forget, if this card is gonna be tier 1, then your opponents will run Spellbreakers and those. So the power of Kingsbane lies in that you cannot silence a weapon, but you can definitely silence a minion. But this can be used as a bait and as a anti-fatigue tool as well. I really like this card, but it really needs an archetype around it, just like everything in this expansion, and I love that. So I will give it 3 stars for now, because even if you combo it with a Spiky Steed, don't get that many stats, and even if it dies, it will just go back to your deck, so you have to draw it again. Maybe you will have to run Witchwood Pipers, but I like this card. For now it's 3 stars. It might be better later. Farkibelax, 5 mana 3/3, overkill, give a minion in your hand +2/+2. So basically you can deal 2 damage with it to overkill something, and then it buffs something in your hand. In arena this can be pretty powerful, but on standard I think I would like to run my cleaver more than I want this. And dealing 2 damage is not really something you can do most of the turn. Just take a look at the spirits. They almost all have 3 health, so you can kill any spirit with this battle axe, because you can only deal 2 damage if you want the overload effect. This is a pretty weak weapon, but still the 5 mana slot is filled for the paladin as weapons. So we give it 2 stars. since there are ways where you can use it, and in arena it's pretty good. But I don't really want to have it in my deck. Zandalari Templar, 4 mana 4/4. Battle Cry, if you restore 10 health this game, gain 4/4 and don't. So this is a better Hooked Reaver that Warlock has. And if you build around that healing archetype, this is the most powerful card in your deck. This is actually amazing. I want to give it 5 stars, but since it still requires the 10 health and there are ways that you can do it before turn 4, I will only give it 4 stars. This is one of my favorite cards in this set as well. I love the art and I love this effect. Spirit of the Tiger, 4 mana stealth for 1 turn. After you cast a spell, summon a tiger with stats equal to its cost. So the tiger basically is just a blank card, a blank beast, to be honest. And on turn 4 you really don't want to do this. You will just die to aggro. You give time for combo decks. So this is really bad, but if on turn 5 or maybe turn 5 with coin you put a Spike Steed on this, then you're gonna get a 6/6. Of course a 0/0 with a coin, which will just instantly die. So you're gonna get a 6/6 and that's better. You don't really wanna use this in a secret oriented deck, but with a new challenger this is actually quite good. But on its own this is just trash that will just die. It doesn't matter if it has stealth or not. I will give it 3 stars because the combo potential is great, but I don't think you will be able to utilize it against every deck. Timeout, 3 mana, your hero is immune until next turn. Definitely 5 stars. We seen Ice Block. The main difference is that your opponent had to trigger Ice Block or Evasion for Rogue, but Evasion is pretty bad. But this can help you if you're playing combo decks. So basically you are immune for 2 turns if you have 2 of these. In 2 turns you can just turn the match, you can just win. So I love this card. Mana cost is same with Ice Block. If you know when to cast this, and probably you will do know, then you just can't lose for 2 turns, that's enough already. Against combo decks this can win you the match, well except for Mecha'thun, but it works quite well against Shadowwalk. Flash of Light, 2 mana, restore full health, draw a card. So this is a cantrip card for Paladin, it fits into the healing archetype I guess, not really anything special. But if you have 2 extra mana and you already have the tiger on the board, then you can just create a 2/2 tiger and draw a card while restoring 4 health. Helps you set up your combos, helps you set up Zandalari Templar. It cheapens the Shirwala's cost by 2. And the 4 health can come handy. Basically you want to do this on a minion instead of your face, so you can get a more effective trade. This is nothing extraordinary, but not bad also. This is a solid 2-star card. It fits into the archetype, you can fill your deck with it and that's it. So Blood Clue, 1 mana 2/2, Battle Cry, deal 5 damage to your hero. This is a 1-star card, I will not run it, it's terrible, it's bullshit. Even in the healing archetype you damage yourself by 5. That's okay, you want to take damage so you will be able to heal, but then you will attack a minion which will damage you. So basically this is not 5 damage to your hero, this is 8 or 9 damage to your hero on the turn you played. You don't want that, that's way too much. If you can't draw your healing cards, you're just murdering yourself. If you could manage to damage yourself, then play the High Priest Call, you're just losing armor, that's basically the same thing. And this is way too early to determine if you can play Shirwala in this game or you're just losing to aggro. I don't really like this card. Maybe they will find a way to use it, but that goes for every card I guess. 1-star, I don't like it. Princess Talanji. Pre-section finally. 8 mana 7/5, Battle Cry, summon all minions from your hand that didn't start in your deck. So this synergizes well with the Priest Spirit, we will get to it in a second, and Bomb Sandy as well. You can actually make a Thief Priest happen with this if you're getting minions instead of spells, of course. But I don't really think this is good enough. Hearthstone proved time after time that random generated minions, even if it's summoned for free, are not always good, and if you're getting spells this will do nothing. We'll give it 2 stars for now. It can see play, it can be actually tier 1 or tier 2, but the experience shows that this will be just pretty bad. Vom Sandy the Dead, 7 mana 7/7 Battlecry, draw 1 cost minions from your deck until your hand is full. Well, on its own it can help you get your curve right. If you're using a lot of 1-drops instead of 2 and 3 drops, maybe you can put it in the Kalaset deck. And you're gonna draw all your 1-drops in the late game, that's quite good. You will draw better cards after that. You really want that. So I will give it 4 stars, since it curves out quite right. If you're playing control you can kinda draw your early game, so you won't suffer 1-drop drawings in every turn. And it really is powerful with the spirit, but not more than 4 stars, maybe even 3, but I will give it the benefit of the doubt again. Let's make it 4 stars for now. Surrender to Madness, 3 mana, destroy 3 of your mana crystals, give all minions in your deck +2/+2. This is a terrible card, and just think about it, you can't play this on turn 3 because your opponent is 3 mana ahead now. Against a druid you lose when you play this. Against anything else, let's see, you play it on like turn 7, right? You will still have 4 mana. Your deck is buffed, and your No-Shy Cleric is now a 3/5 for 1 mana. Still not good enough. If you're playing it on turn 10, that means you're already through almost half of your deck. Maybe more. And what the fuck do you want to buff in your deck any longer? So I really don't like this, not even with the spirit buffed up 1-drops. Why 1-drops are powerful enough? Like a 1 mana 7/7 is good enough, it doesn't have to be 9/9 just for the sake of using this card. I give it 1 star, I don't like this. Kalaset is way better when it rotates out. I still don't think this will see play. Maybe in a full 1-drop priest it could happen. Aggro priest, maybe. But still you have to play it on turn 4 to get value out of it. Maybe you can coin out on turn 2, then you will lose only 2 crystals. Right, how can I Phantasm 2 mana 3/2 Battlecry this turn, your healing effects deal damage instead? Well, this card I like. So basically this is the same How Can I, but it only lasts for 1 turn. So Circle of Healing is a 2 mana board clear now instead of the 4. And also you can use your hero power to deal 2 damage on the turn you play this. This is pretty amazing. I will give it 4 stars. It needs some workaround and you have to learn how to use it, but after that it's fucking good. In Arena this is a tier 1 card, I think. Alright, Grave Horror, 12 mana 7/8, don't cost 1 less for each spell you've cast this game. Basically this is a half Shirvala. Well, as a priest you wanna play spells, right? You can also have the Dragon Soul equip, which you just want. But you could. So if you cast 2 spells you can play the Grave Horror already, but for 10 mana this is still bad. So let's see, you play Shadow Vision, a shitload of spells. Grave Horror costs 3 now. 3 mana 7/8 don't is just way too damn good. So I like this card. I will give it 3 stars because it's not something extraordinary, it's just a good taunt. Kinda cheap as it is. It's a basic card, but you're gonna love it. It does what it has to. It will protect you. Mass Hysteria, 5 mana, force each minion to attack another random minion. The only question is, the attacked minion damages the attacker, or will it not? It doesn't really matter, I guess. So every minion will attack something else. Broad is better, definitely. If the board is filled with weak minions, this is not something you wanna play. If it's filled with giants, stuff like that, then you're hoping that you're gonna get the right attacks on the right minions. So it really has some RNG involved. I will give it 2 stars for now, but this can be the new board clear for priests. Kinda like it, but I kinda hate it as well. Spirit of the Dead, 1 mana 03, start for 1 turn. After a friendly minion dies, shuffle a 1 cost copy of it into your deck. Now this is the synergy itself with the other cards. The problem is that you will still have to draw those 1 cards, but luckily you got Vamsadi, and now you will understand why I gave him 4 stars before. So this spirit is one of the best and cheapest spirits that has been revealed, and I really think this will see a new archetype, but that won't include Surrender to Madness. If you're getting another Grave Horror with this, that's pretty good. Basically you want to have a minion heavy priest, and it's something you can actually do, but then you can't really run Grave Horror because it needs spells. Well, we'll see. I really like this card. Let's give it 4 stars for now. On its own it's trash, just like every spirit. But if you shuffle back just 2 minions, this is still good. It's amazing. Like a random Lich King. You booed me. Right, Sand Rush, 3 mana 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 zombie with Taunt. So that's not really a Dragon Souls 5/5 dragon, but you can actually counter aggro your opponent. If he is playing Odd Paladin, you can just cast 2 spells and basically that's his hero power with Taunt, so it's even better. I like it. I will give it 3 stars only because there's probably other cards you wanna play instead of this, and you won't just keep casting spells. But I still like it. It really seems good enough. Yeah, in arena this is perfect. Right, Seance, 2 mana, choose a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. So basically you can choose your opponent's minions and yours as well. Turn 10 you play a Lich King, you copy it, you have another one. Gotta love it. It's nothing more than 2 stars. Maybe you will see some playing. It will see some playing a combo deck, Star Aligner, something like this. Well, we'll see. Kinda like these designs, but they don't really ever see play. Regenerate 0 mana, restore 3 health. This is a 1-star card. It is really good when you have a Lyra, maybe a Violet Teacher on the board, or maybe both. You can just keep regenerating. Well, this is kind of designed for Northside Cleric, something like that, to heal your minions for an efficient trading, but this is not something you want to put in your deck. This helps with combos like Sand Drudge, Dragon Soul. Alright, we got to the rogue section. So, Captain Hooktusk, 8 mana 6/3 pirate. Battlecry, summon 3 pirates from your deck, give them rush. So that is pretty fucking good with the pirate that draws you 2 cards when it overkills. But with every other pirate this is just bad. And as a rogue I don't really think you want to waste 8 mana on this. But the rush helps you trade, so you can come back on the board. The problem is with the pirates, they are weak when you don't use their battle cries. I will give it 4 stars because we've seen pirates from your deck just coming out, being in charge now, and we all remember the terror. Growl the Shark, 5 mana 2/2, Battlecry, eat a minion in your deck and gain its stats, that will add it to your hand. Well, you cannot control which minion it eats. The stats can be amazing with a Deathwing or with just this Hypemon as well. Something that has already good minion and you're getting it back when this dies. But if this will work, then silences will come, so this won't work ever. Not as intended. I will give it 3 stars because it doesn't really deserve more than 2. But I like these designs for Rogue. And I hope they will do more, but with a little more sense. Gurubashi Hype Mode, 7 mana 5/7, Battlecry, discover a 1/1 copy of a Battlecry minion, it costs 1. So basically this is a card you want to discover Grawl with. And maybe Hook Tusk, that would be bad, right? A 1 mana Hook Tusk. Jesus, that will be pretty bad. Well, this card is 3 stars again. It's way too expensive. Attack value is really low, health value is good as it is. The problem is it's not a pirate. And if you want to build a combo rogue, then it's not something you want to include. If you could make it 4 or 5 mana, it would be perfect. The best thing is it can discover itself. Don't forget that. Infinite 1/1s again, just like always with rogues. Alright, Cannon Barrage, 6 mana, deal 3 damage to random enemy, repeat for each of your pirates. So Blizzard saw what Artifact is printing with Luna, and they wanted their own. Even the cost is the same. Alright, I guess. If you can summon a shitload of pirates and you can keep them for 1 turn, then this will decimate your opponent's board. Or face. Depends. This can be a finisher card, but if you have a board filled with pirates, you don't need this because you just win. This is a win more card again. We don't really like those. This can help clear the board in case your opponent has stones and you only have weak pirates. But it's only worth the mana cost if you have at least 3 pirates, so it will deal 12 damage. Well, that would be something. Problem is again random, and that it's a win more. On its own it will deal 3 damage and that's it. If you have no pirates, then it's game over for you. Spirit of the Shark, 4 mana 0/3, start for 1 turn, your minions, battle cries and combos trigger twice. Now this is a card I'm looking forward to. Since it costs 4 fucking mana, I think it's way too expensive to run in any deck. But yes, Blizzard showed us in the stream that wow, you can just play it on turn 4 and end your turn, but to be honest, aggro will just fucking kill you if you waste your turn on 0/3 card that has stealth. You can't do anything with this on turn 4, you can't do anything with this on turn 5, it will help you with a second Battlecry and that's it. On its own this is pretty weak, with Battlecries and combos this could be powerful. Then again, as a rogue you don't really want to waste your turn 4 on this. I will give it 2 stars because it has potential. If it would be 2 mana, this would be a 5-star card, but as 4, it's way too expensive. And you can't even play it on turn 4 and shadow step it back, because that doesn't make any sense. Raiding Party, 3 mana, draw 2 pirates from your deck combo and a weapon. This will make Kingsbane great again. Additional ways to draw your Kingsbane from your deck. Also you can thin your deck with using pirates. And there are good pirates in the neutrals section as well, which we will get to eventually. So I like this card. I think this is at least a 4-star card in the perfect deck, like Kingsbane or just a random pirate aggro with preparation. 2 cards giving you 3 cards that you need, each and every single one of them. This is pretty good. So definitely 4-star, maybe 5. Bloodsail Hauler, 2 mana rush, Battlecry, gain 1/1 for each other pirate you control. It's also a pirate. The main problem is you want to run it in a pirate deck, but you want to run Hook Tusk in a pirate deck as well, right? But if Hook Tusk summons this, and this is just a 1/1 with rush, with double rush, that doesn't make any sense. So you want to draw this pretty early on before you play Hook Tusk, otherwise this just makes Hook Tusk even weaker. That's what I'm talking about. Pirates are pretty bad when you draw them out of your deck without their battle cries. But if you don't think about Hook Tusk for a minute, then on the pirate aggro deck this is a pretty good card. So in the right archetype I think this is at least a 4-star card again. Unfortunately that will be an aggro deck. Poke the Plank, 4 mana, destroy non-damaged minion. love it. 3 stars. It can kill a Deathwing, it can kill a Lich King, it can kill almost everything right after they are played. This is a very good tech card. Of course we have Assassinate for 5, but don't forget you can prep this and it's 1 mana then. And 1 mana destroy non-damage by damage is pretty good. I like this card. Stolen Steel, 2 mana discover a weapon from another class. Well, this is truly bad. But it can be used until the legendary weapons are in the standard format. In every other case I don't really like it, the discover really improves it, so you don't just get a random weapon. I will give it 1 star, but I'm kind of afraid that it will eventually be even better. Like if you're playing against a priest, that's a dragon soul. If you're playing against a mage, that's an Alunet. Against a druid, that's a twig. And shaman, it will probably be a rune spear, and you will die because of that. So it all depends on which class your opponent is playing, so it can be from pretty bad to quite acceptable, I guess. You know, whatever you get from it, it will be 2 mana more because of this card. Right, so rated 2 to 1 mana 1/3, that threat will give your minions rush. So basically, for 3 mana, using your hero power, you can give your minions rush. But you have to play minions on that turn, or kill your minions to have the death threat to summon minions. Rush, but this doesn't seem like anything good at all. If you use it on turn 1, then on turn 3 you can give your minions rush, or maybe in a later game. I don't really see this one played. We have a few rush minions already, they will be enough. This is a 2-star card, only 2 because you can destroy it with your hero power. So on turn 10, if you can fill your board, you can go for trading, which you don't want in a pirate deck. Alright, Shaman, my favorite class. Kragwa, the frog, 6 mana 4/6 beast. Battle cry, return all spells you played last turn to your hand. Alright, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. You have to find a way to combo it, but since you're a shaman and you can pretty much do it, this will fucking murder your opponent. Let's see, you're on turn 9, you double burst your opponent, 10 damage. Next turn you play Kragwa, you're gonna get those 2 lava bursts out. Its only weakness is that you can't really cast those spells on the same turn you play Kragwa. But since last turn you probably clear the board as well, then you might not need it. And if you play an echo spell or something with similar effect like Unstable Evolution, it will give you a shitload of copies. Alright, Zentimo, 3 mana 1/3, whenever you target a minion with a spell, it also targets adjacent ones. So for 7 mana you can hex 3 minions that are next to each other, that's not bad. Or you can just cast Unstable Evolution on 3 minions, one after another. You need to have 4 minions to do that, because you want to keep Zentimo alive. Or maybe 3 minions is just enough if you place it on the far left or right. You're casting on the other side. Well, it can be something. I really think this is a 5-star card in a deck that really utilizes minions and spells. So Haunting Visions, 3 mana your next spell, you cast this turn, cost 3 less, discover spell. So I kinda want to recognize this as a Farsight that does similar things, but that draws you a card from your deck, which helps you accelerate your card draws, and it makes the drawn card cheaper, and that can be the downside as well. Meanwhile, playing Haunting Visions can give you a spell of your choice from a pool of 3, and you don't have to cast the discovered spell. You can cast anything else for 3 less, so basically you can play Haunting Visions, you pick up something good like a Volcano for next turn, then you're just gonna cast Farsight for 0 and keep the 3 less. I mean, to play the 3 less on the far side. Then the drone card will be 3 less as well. I kinda like this card, the design is pretty good. Let's head into the control section. Alright, Big Bad Voodoo, 2 mana, give a friendly minion death rattle, summon a random minion that costs 1 more. So we really will see a silence meta, it's kind of official, works well with Zentimo. Every other case this is not something you want to play, but if you're getting it from a random effect, it can be used, I guess. Spirit of the Frog, start for 1 turn, whenever you cast a spell, draw a spell from your deck that costs 1 more. The problem is that this card costs 3. And a Mecha'thun totem is probably better, or a Farsight is probably better. Both of them draws you at least 1 card before they die. And for this, on turn 3 you play this, on turn 4 you're gonna play an Unstable Evolution probably, which you don't want to stop casting. And then you're gonna play a Bad Voodoo, maybe a Hunting Visions after. But it's already 6 mana, so it's kind of like a bit later. But if you can build a curve spell Shaman, then this will help you draw a few cards. But since we have Hagata, I think that's a bit better. So I will give this 2 stars. It can be better, but it needs so much mana and a few unnecessary spells. Box Lusher, 3 mana battle cry, return a friendly minion to your hand and give it +2/+2. It's a 3/3 elemental. Well, in elemental deck you don't really want to use this, since you want to have minions on the board. In a combo deck you have Zola that copies the card, that's way better. The +2/+2 doesn't really mean anything. I don't really like this card, I will give it 1 star. Could give it 2, but I still don't feel like it's powerful enough. Alright, Lick Aim 2 mana 1/3 has +2 attack while you have overloaded mana crystals. So this reminds me of the Shaman weapon that gained +2 attack when you had a spell damage minion on the board. So this is way worse, since if you overload your crystals, you're getting +2 attack for this turn and for your next turn, I guess. And that's really helpful, but still this is a weak weapon. The 3 durability kinda helps. I feel like this was designed because of that rogue spell, Stolen Steel. Right, Reign of Toads, 6 mana, summon 3/2/4 Toads with Taunt, overload 3. Well, 6 mana for a 6/12 Taunt. That's actually quite good. But 9 mana for the same thing is not that good. I feel like this is a 2-star card. Against aggro you can use this, it's pretty good then. But you want to have Volcano instead this. From Hagata you can utilize this to have a board, so it's kind of good. From a random generated effect this is a good card. In every other case you don't really want to use this. Maybe on a giant combo Shaman. It helps you overload yourself. Totemic Smash, 1 mana, deal 2 damage, overkill, summon a basic totem, so you have to deal 1 damage with this to overkill. And that won't really happen, or you have to use spell damage to buff this, which makes this more expensive. This is not really a good spell. Maybe there are some shenanigans with Meligus. This is a 1-star for now. But if you can use it with Meligus and kill your opponent, well, this can be good, and Farsight really helps in that. Also Haunting Visions could help, but that only goes for 1 turn, so that's not really enough. Wardbringer, 1 mana 2/1 Battle Cry, if you play 2 spells this turn deal 2 damage, so this really synergizes well with Spirit of the Frog, I guess. And the 2 ping damage is not bad, the stats are really low. I would rather have this 2 mana 2/2 with the same effect. I will give it 2 stars because with Unstable Evolution you can manage to cast cheap spells. Shaman has ways around this criteria, but it's really not enough. An eel is better, I guess, but that requires deck building. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my video, be sure to hit like, share and subscribe. You can also find my Twitter and Twitch channels in the description below. See you next time.